Hey everybody, Says Books here with my video going over the results of WWE King and Queen of the Ring. And just gotta say, a lot of the matches went the way I wanted them to. But as I'll get into in quite a bit here, a lot of them did not. But that's life for you, you know? Anyway, before I get into the results, I want to list off some cool facts that I found out before and during watching the event. Apparently, the match between Randy Orton and Gunther, not only was that like a first time ever match, but it was Randy Orton's first match one-on-one at a pay-per-view or premium live event, whatever you want to call them now, since 2021, when he defeated the Fiend Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 37. That's pretty crazy. And then during the countdown for the event, they reiterated that announcement about SummerSlam for 2026, saying it's going to be held under 2 nights. So that'll be interesting. And then after a bunch of the rundown of what's to be expected and some insight from some of the stars, got into the kickoff match, which was Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell challenging Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. And this match, relatively back and forth, but for the most part, pretty one-sided at some points, whether it be Candice and Indy going after Bianca's knee, or having it be Jade and Bianca double teaming either Candice and or Indy. And the match ended with a quite the impressive double team from Cargill and Belair, and they retained the tag team titles. So I'm pretty happy about that. And in terms of my predictions, that was one right. And then to the main show, it was Liv Morgan challenging Becky Lynch for the Women's World Title. And now earlier on in the show, during the countdown, we saw Dominic Mysterio getting all up in Liv Morgan's face, going on like, "Oh, I'm not gonna let you take Mommy's title," even though, dum-dum, Rhea already lost the title. It's not hers anymore. And so needless to say, Dom, near the end of the match, made his presence felt, but I'll get into that a little bit. Because Liv and Becky gave everything they had, giving their best moves, with some of them having really close 2 counts before kick out. But then Dum Mysterio came out, kind of distracted Becky a little bit. And Becky was going like, "Oh, I don't need your help. I don't want your help. Go away." And then Liv was trying to capitalize on all that, but failed on that attempt. And then Dom threw in a chair for Becky to use, but then got the referee distracted, and Liv took advantage of that. Hit a DDT, followed that up with the Oblivion, and got the 1, 2, 3, and beat Becky for the title. Now, I'm not too happy about that. I mean, sure, if Liv had won in a more clean fashion, I probably would have been okay with it. But with having Dominic Mysterio, of all people, coming out there initially wanting to cost Liv the match and inadvertently giving her the win, not a big fan of that. But that wasn't the last we saw of Becky Lynch tonight, and I'll get into that later. And then, following that, it was the Intercontinental Championship Triple Threat match. Chad Gable, Bronson Reed, and Sami Zayn. And now, Chad Gable making his entrance first. And initially it looked like he was coming up with both Maxine Dupree and Otis, but ended up telling Maxine to go to the back, and was just kind of bad-mouthing Otis, like, stick to the plan, remember what I told you. And then Bronson Reed came out, and then Sami Zayn made his entrance with like a montage of some of his experiences in Saudi Arabia, which was pretty cool. And then as the match started, there was like chaos almost instantly. Sami just charging right at Gable, Bronson tearing them apart from each other. Even at one point where Sami Zayn, who was trying multiple different times in the match, managed to get the big guy up for a Blue Thunder Bomb. And that was after Chad Gable had Bronson in an ankle lock, and all the while Gable had that locked in, Sami Zayn had one locked in on him. And then, some point after that, Chad Gable German suplexed both of them. And then Otis is being bossed around by Gable. Otis did complete the attack on Reed, but when it came time to attacking Sami, he basically refused. And Gable was like, "What are you doing? You idiot, attack him." And then Otis backed up, started charging, hitting the clothesline. Sami moved out of the way, and Otis accidentally clotheslined Chad instead. Then Sami Zayn took advantage of that, got the victory over Bronson Reed, and is still the Intercontinental Champion. Pretty happy about that. So, in terms of my predictions so far, only got two right. And those being for Jade and Bianca defeating LeRae and Hartwell, and Sami defending against Chad Gable and Bronson Reed. And then I got the Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan one wrong. And same with this next match. Recently called up Lyra Valkyria, challenging Nia Jax in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. And of course, in typical bad guy fashion, you see it everywhere. Not just in WWE, but like a lot of those cartoons and stuff like that. They had Nia in like black and purple. I mean, think about it. There's been a lot of super villains, or just villains in general, that has worn black and purple. Or just have a lot of purple in general. I mean, the Joker, Megatron, the Undertaker in his early days, the Judgment Day as a whole. But yeah, that's beside the point. And then Lyra Valkyria came out, have like those big wings, kind of dressed up like a raven, which I find kind of funny because of her finisher move name being Nightwing. So kind of dressing up like the namesake of a Teen Titans hero, and then having the finishing move, kind of, but maybe not really, named after another. But then after the match started, Valkyria was given just about everything she had, but Nia Jax was basically having none of it. Just throwing her around, just brute force. I mean, Valkyria did have some offense in, like flying around. Even at one point, almost trying to lift her up for the Nightwing. But near the end of the match, Lyra was trying to hit like a sunset flip from the top, and Jax was a bit too heavy, collapsed onto Lyra, and then hit like a Annihilator. I mean, yeah, real clever name. Taking the Nia part of your name and emphasizing it in an already existing word. And a less cooler, in my opinion, version of a move one of her relatives made famous, and Rikishi, not Rikishi, but Yokozuna. Yeah, Nia Jax won Queen of the Ring and was crowned so by Triple H. Not too happy about that. But Lyra Valkyria did give everything she had and had a really impressive showing. And then, as I was mentioning earlier, saw Becky Lynch in the back, kind of like yelling, telling Dom off. And when Byron Saxton was trying to get an interview with Becky, she was like, no. Not having any of this. She was pretty pissed off. And invoked her rematch clause for Monday Night on Raw. Whether or not that gets confirmed or not is yet to be confirmed. And then it was that was followed up by the King of the Ring finals match. Gunther versus Randy Orton. And now a lot of back and forth. Gunther giving the chops. Orton giving pretty much his greatest hits. A couple of RKOs. Doing that back suplex thing onto the the announce table, just giving each other their greatest moves. Some of them coming close than others, more closer than others to getting the win. And then near the end of the match, Orton hit an RKO, but because of his back, wasn't really able to capitalize. And then Gunther hit him with some kind of move or something like that. And then, maybe I'm remembering something wrong. Anyway, Orton went for a pin. Gunther kicked out, and Gunther hit him with basically a surprise roll up. Got 1, 2, 3. But I shouldn't have counted. And I'll tell you why. Because Randy Orton didn't have both shoulders clearly flat on the mat. Had like one of them raised up. And you'd think the referee would have saw that, considering what he was. Doing the 1, 2, 3. But no. Maybe they had to call an audible or something, or I don't know. But even when they're showing the highlights, no one even pointed it out. But regardless, for now, Gunther is king of the ring. Then, sometime after that, Triple H made an announcement. Drew McIntyre has been medically cleared and is going to compete for the World Heavyweight Championship against Damian Priest at Clash at the Castle. So that ought to be an interesting fight. And then, main event time, of which we had a special guest announcer in the form of Saudi Arabian comedian. Probably not gonna even pronounce his name right, but Abraham Al-Hajjaj? I'm not even sure I'm saying that right, but him. Cody Rhodes defending his undisputed WWE Championship against the prime waste of space, Logan Paul. And then kind of started off kind of like a standard match. For the most part, Logan Paul kind of fighting cleanly. Then the battle got brought over to the ringside area where Logan was looking to rehydrate himself with some Prime. And then Cody took the bottle, hit it against Logan's head. But then Logan Paul was handed another pair of knucks from one of his lackeys in the crowd. Michael Cole was calling him out on it, going like, "Oh, you liar. You're nothing but a loser." And then Corey Graves was trying to hold him back, going like, "Oh, no. Trying to separate Logan Paul and Michael Cole. Then after the action got back into the ring, after a while, Cody hit the bionic elbow made famous by his father, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Then followed that up with a figure 4 leg lock, made famous by one of Dusty's top rivals, Nature Boy Ric Flair. And sometime after that, Paul tried hitting Cody with the crossroads, connected, but failed to get the win. Then, some time passed by, Cody dug deep into his bag of tricks, not to be confused with the cereal, and hit Logan Paul with a version of the Final Cut, a move made famous by Cody's brother Goldust, aka Dustin Rhodes. And then the action went out to ringside again on one of the announce tables. Logan Paul went for a pedigree after going like, "Oh, Logan Paul Levesque era." Then Cody reversed that into a Cody cutter. Then Rhodes went back into the ring. Referee was almost to a count of 10. And then Cody called that off. But that came back to bite him in the ass. Logan Paul set him up for a splash through the table, through one of the announce tables, after doing like the Triple H spit after drinking some Prime. Landed that, then got the action back into the ring, hit a frog splash, failed to get the win. Then the referee got knocked out. Logan Paul capitalized on that, hit a low blow. Then got the Nux back out. Then that Ibrahim stopped Logan Paul. Cody took advantage, hit him with some crossroads, and got the 1, 2, 3. And Cody is still the undisputed champion. So, that was the match. That was the show. And in terms of my predictions, I got 1, 2, 3 out of 6 correct. Which ain't too bad. But anyway, that's going to be about it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Leave any comments on what you thought of King and Queen of the Ring, if you saw it. And with that, until the next video, which I'm not sure what that's going to be and when it's going to be. Until then, this is Isaac Brooks, signing off. Bye.